Did you know that nearly 70% of Linux users struggle with file permissions? Let's change that today. In this video, you'll learn how to master Linux permissions in just minutes with a simple trick that will make managing your files easier than ever. Don't waste your time, grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. Many users find Linux file permissions confusing and doubting, which can lead to security issues and inefficiencies in their workflow. Let's have a look at the example. There is a folder called Techniques, containing script files of Shinobi techniques. In the system, there are three active users: Kakashi, Sasuke and Naruto. These users have different permissions of executing those scripts. The lightning blade technique was created by Kakashi, so he's the owner of this file. He can read, modify and execute this technique. The next user is Sasuke, who has lightning chakra nature, meaning he belongs to the lightning group, so he's supposed to read and execute this technique. But Naruto does not belong to the group and he's not the owner, so he's the other user who can just read this technique but nothing else. That sounds logical. The other technique is body flicker, where the owner is the root user who can modify this technique, execute and obviously read. But every other user, each shinobi in this example, is just capable of reading and executing this technique. Now let's break down the fundamentals of Linux permissions, including user roles, read, write, execute permissions and how they affect file access. Symbolic notation allows you to specify permissions using letters and symbols. As a root user, we modify the file permissions using symbolic notation. For example, we cannot execute permissions of lightning blade script to every user, so even Naruto could execute this script. It's very easy to remove permissions using the minus operator. Now, nobody in the lightning group can execute this script. If we want to set the exact permissions, we can utilize equal sign for this case. Thanks to this operation, now the root user can only edit the script, without the possibility to execute or even read it. Numeric notation allows you to set permissions using a 3-digit number, where each digit represents the permissions for the owner, group and the others. This is the fastest way of setting file permissions. You can quickly compute permissions for particular kinds of users. For example, sudo hmode777 bodyflicker.sh gives all permissions to all users for this particular script. To change permissions recursively, for example for all files and subdirectories within a directory, you can just run the command with R option. Now, all the scripts in this folder are only readable and executable, but no one can edit them. Okay, so here's the one simple trick that will allow you to quickly set and modify permissions without getting lost in the command line. Always use hmode command with numeric notation, instead of getting bogged down by symbolic permissions. Remember this, hmode 755. This command gives full access to the owner and read-execute rights to everyone else. It's a quick and powerful way to set permissions confidently, even you are new to the command line. With this, you'll streamline your workflow and avoid common permission errors. To recap, we covered the basics of Linux permissions and revealed an easy method to manage them effectively. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.